Peace and love, family. Peace and love. I hope that I'm finding you all in an amazing place because I am. And if you're not there, I hope that you're listening to your mind, your body, and your spirit to get to that place. Because that's what it's all about. Listening to you. Listening to what your inner voice is saying, listening to what your spirit is telling you, how you feel, and your body. When your body hurts, when your body is not well, that means it's something you should be listening to, something you should be paying attention to. You should be asking your body, what's going on and how do I fix this? Because a lot of our physical issues is related to our minds. That ain't what I came on here to talk about, but it just came out like that. So anyway, I hope that you all have a good, what today is? Thursday? Yeah, a good Thursday. I kind of got on my video late. You know the hats we wear, especially as women, right? So I wanted to get on because earlier I made a TikTok about you have to lose in order to what did I say? Gain, basically. You have to lose in order to gain. And when I say lose, you have to, no, let me start like this. When you make the decision to focus on you, when you make the decision to say yes to you, like I've stated previous times before, when you make that commitment, please know that you're going to lose some things. You're going to lose a few things. And I think that's a good thing to know upon that journey, because I learned as I went. And it was hard for me to let go because I couldn't understand at the time. But I had to trust my intuition. I had to trust my spirit. I had to trust my body. I had to trust all those things I take to trust at the beginning of the video. So you have to be prepared to lose people. You have to be prepared to even lose yourself for a moment, because when you make that commitment to yourself, you're going to shed some layers of who you thought you were. I'm going to say that again. Once you make that commitment to yourself, you're going to shed some layers of who you thought you were. And one of the bigger things too is you're going to unlearn a lot of the things you learned when you were growing up. You're going to learn that a lot of those things is not meant to go with you on this next phase of life. A lot of habits we picked up, a lot of thinking, a lot of the ways that we think, we picked up as we were growing up. And it's some negative traits with that. It's some negativity within how we navigate through life before you started your journey. And even as you go through your journey a little bit, because it takes time to get to know the authentic you, the you under all that pain. It takes a lot. So be prepared to kind of lose yourself, kind of not understand who you are for a moment somewhere in that transformation phase, I'll say. And so I feel like that was a big important part for me, because I thought that I couldn't be myself anymore, because I felt I did a lot out of ego before I committed to myself. And I realized that, and I was like, yo, this ego thing is powerful. But I had to learn to let that go. I had to learn to release my ego. I had to learn to release my ego when it was time to deal with people, deal with my environment, deal with my work life. That was my armor. My ego was my armor, and it's yours too. But you have to learn too, when you're using your ego, how sincere are you? How loving are you? You know? And that's something that we should work towards releasing. Operating out of love and not ego. When I learned that I could release my ego, it's sometimes you can pick that girl up sometimes if you want to, but I choose not to. It doesn't serve me, and it's not a part of my purpose. It's not a part of what's next for me. It's not a part of what I'm doing now, operating out of ego. It's just, once I deal with my shadow side, I honor that, but then I move on from that. And I have no plans of going back to it other than to understand that's where I came from. So, ego was something I had to lose. And I noticed one of the first ways I wanted to lose my ego was when I was dealing with my family. I didn't want to deal with my family with my ego anymore. It was rough. Like I could be something. Like I was something else. So I was like, the first thing I did was release my ego for my family. And then I realized this ain't really for anybody, because I shouldn't even have to get to this place. You know, I shouldn't even have to get to this point. So I would say ego, definitely. And also, another thing that you have to be prepared to lose, which I mentioned before all of this, is people. That's a tough one too, because sometimes people can be our crutch. We've learned to rely on people who we do not need. We've learned to rely on their advice, which, take the advice if it resonates, but you don't need everybody's advice, because everybody's not operating from the place where you're trying to operate from. So take heed to your surroundings as far as people go in your life. And then, I mean, you know who you're hanging with, and you know what they're on, and you know what type of life they're living, you know what type of mindset they have. So if it's something that bothers you when you're around them, if it's something that, you know, consumes your energy, you may have to let that person go. And most of the time, you don't have to let them go for a long period of time. It just may need to be until you get to your authentic self, your strong self, so you'll know, look, I just can't rock with it. You know, this is not what I'm into anymore. And that takes some solitude. Like, you're gonna have to be alone. You're gonna have to learn to ride by yourself for a little while, because nobody can hold your hand through this journey but you. You can be guided. You can, it's people along the way that God places in your life to push you through. And that's going to be somebody who's meeting you where you are at that time. But trust and believe, most of the time, it's not going to be your family, and it's not going to be your friends. Because I ain't going to lie, sometimes your girl be feeling, I know I'm slick a black sheep. You know what I'm saying? Not in a bad way, because I realize who I am. And I'm just at a place with my age and where I'm at and what I've been through. You either rocking with me or you're not. And if you're not, I'm not going to even consume my energy with you out of love. You know what I'm saying? So you have to know what your surroundings is, and is it working for you? And it takes a lot to let people go. And like I said, I went through this journey. Is it just showing out? Is it showing out? That's my doggy. I think it's the doorbell rung. Okay, John got the door. Look, I'm on my mom mode now. I'm like, who got the door? But yeah. So I don't know exactly what I was just saying, but I know I'm talking about losing people. So yeah, so when I was on my journey, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just following the intuition. I was following my voice, because at that time when I did get that instruction, I would say, from my inner voice and from God, to sit down for a little bit and be alone, I knew that I could not go to anybody. It was nobody that was in my physical circle that would. I'm gonna have to press pause. I'm gonna be back, y'all. I'll be back. Listen to my needs. Because when you go to somebody and you ask for advice, this is something I've never seen anybody that I knew do. So how would that conversation go? What advice could they give me? You know, so sometimes when you're doing something, the advice from other people is not needed, because the advice that you need is within. And we need to get to a place to learn to listen to our thoughts, our inner voice. It takes time, and it takes learning, you know, how to meditate. It takes learning connecting with you. It takes learning looking within to understand it. It takes all kinds of things, journaling, you know, all of these things put together, which means it's so intimate being with yourself, because you're doing all of these things, bringing up stuff that's painful, or not even bringing it up. When it comes up, when you start feeling these feelings, you act on those feelings. That's what this journey is all about. So I knew that there was nobody outside of me that could help me, unless, you know, you come across someone who's on this journey with you that can say, or we got the internet, YouTube. I came across some great videos, great meditations. I came across some great things. So in that aspect, no, you're not alone, but you have to go and find the right information for you. Research, read books, do these things. This is what you do with your time with you. So people was a big part, and it was friends that I had to let go of. And, you know, when you realize that some people can be draining and manipulative and all of these things and need more from you than they're willing to do for themselves, you have to honor yourself. You have to honor yourself. If somebody needs more from you than they're willing to give themselves, and they won't take your advice, but they want to take what you can do for them, listen to your spirit on that. A lot of us out there is being used. We cannot be anyone's savior. That was a hard lesson I had to learn on my journey. Because when you're on this journey and you're actually feeling peace and you're feeling this abundance and you're feeling all this prosperity, of course you want your people to come with you. You want your people to feel this. But I had to mourn the fact that I can't be their savior. Nobody was my savior. You know why? Because you have to do your own work. I can guide you. I can be a shoulder. I can be a listening ear. I can meditate with you. I can give you all these cool advices and these exercises, these journal prompts. I can do all of these things, which is why I became a life coach. But I can't save you from you. And you have to understand that when someone asks you of something that they cannot do for themselves, some people need to fend for themselves sometimes. There's nothing wrong with that. I refuse to be in front of somebody else's lesson that they need to learn. I'll be right here beside you though. But this is for you. This is yours. So honor yourself. Let go of people, family or friends, if they do not serve your highest good or your highest purpose. It's a grief process too. You're gonna grieve them if they're so close to you. But then you can also look at it, well, I'm going to put them on pause for a little bit. I'm going to just tell them I need some time and I'm going to come back. If I'm led to come back. That's a part of listening to yourself. You have to lose the idea that life won't be the same no more. Not in a bad way, though. In a good way. That could be depressing for some people. Some people actually is so comfortable sitting in negativity, sitting in anxiety, sitting in depression that they can't even fathom the thought of living in such a peaceful place. So that's why some people can't even move from being stuck, because it's so comfortable there. You don't have to do any work there, not realizing you're working there, using your energy, becoming sick, having mental illnesses, fighting and arguing all the time. People find comfort in that. I didn't even know it was this side to life. That really lets me know there's a hell on earth and there's a heaven on earth. That's how I found out. I was living in hell before. But now I'm in heaven. I'm in heaven. And no matter what it looks like for you on the outside when you're looking at me, I'm trying to get you to this place. That's why I'm getting on this thing and I'm talking. And I'm telling people about my journey. I'm telling people the steps. Or at least the start. You have to lose in order to gain. You know what you're going to be gaining? You're going to gain everything I just said. Abundance, prosperity, peace, love. You're going to gain yourself, your higher self, and so much more. You're going to learn your sensuality. You're going to learn your true sexuality. You're going to learn all kinds of things about you. And you're going to learn that I ain't lying no more to me. I ain't lying no more to me. I ain't lying no more to anybody outside of myself. Because that's you blocking your blessing too. You're going to learn to embrace abundance. And actually being the creator of your reality. That's a real thing. It's a real thing. But you have to be the one to say yes to you. You have to be willing to lose what all you knew. You have to be willing to lose all that you knew and be ready to start fresh. Not start over, just fresh. Because I know I'm a part of what I've been through. I'm a product of that. But I used all that. I turned all of that into wisdom. I'm turning those things into wisdom. Most of it is. Ain't no telling what else I have to heal from. Ain't no telling what else is still in there that needs to come up and come out. But I'm dedicated and I'm committed to myself every day. And I keep myself accountable for the people who needs me to guide them through their journey. I'm committed to myself. That's why I won't see my ego. I don't plan on ever using my ego in a place where it's going to set me back. Because I'm working within my purpose. My mindset, my mental, my emotional abilities is always going to be prepared to guide the next person God sends my way. That's it. That's all. That's all there is to it. While still being a part of me, who I was. I know I was talking to my friend the other day. People who knew me has to get to know me again. I had to get to know me. And it's amazing. It's amazing for someone to see your growth. A lot of people can be intimidated by this type of growth, and that's fine. That's not my problem. But it's amazing to grow this way. Is it a little scary? Yes, it can be. But once you understand what the mission is and you understand that you're just making it right with yourself and not nobody else, it won't even be as scary anymore. I still cry about twice a week. Still things that, it's still challenges within the abundance. It's still challenges within the prosperity, because God got to see where we are. He has to see what we learned from the last test. He has to see that we won't be set back. He has to see that we won't be put back. We won't be set back. Because in order to receive the destiny, the abundance, you have to be somewhere, I would say, in a place where you've earned this. And I know you won't go back. Because a lot of us isn't prepared for our abundance. A lot of us isn't prepared for our prosperity, because you know what we're going to go do? We're going to go drink it up. We're going to go smoke it up. We're going to go give it to people who isn't willing to do the work for themselves. It's okay to help people, but we're going to go get in front of other people's lessons and blessings. So you have to get to a place spiritually to where you get this spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. For when you get this abundance that's waiting for you, that you get to keep it. Because if you get this abundance, and there's people out there getting abundance within their flesh and working off and operating off of ego, but it's not going to last. Get it this way. Get it the right way, so that it's yours forever. All right, y'all, I'm going to eat me some little dinner. I'm going to let you go. But you have to lose in order to gain. Okay? Go be love, go be light, go be peace, so that you can receive love, light, peace. Peace.